What if humanity just received its first genuine signal from an alien civilization, and we're dismissing it as space debris? Just weeks ago, the astronomical community was buzzing with excitement after spotting something extraordinary, an enigmatic visitor from the depths of interstellar space, careening directly toward our solar system's heart. This marks only the third time in recorded history that we've witnessed such an object crossing the cosmic void to reach us. The celestial wanderer, now catalogued as 3I Atlas, has become the focal point of a heated scientific debate that's dividing experts down the middle. While the mainstream astronomical establishment rushes to classify it as just another comet, one prominent Harvard researcher refuses to accept such a mundane explanation. Enter Avi Loeb, the controversial Harvard astrophysicist who's built his reputation on challenging conventional wisdom about mysterious space objects. Loeb has consistently proposed that previous interstellar visitors might actually be technological artifacts left behind by advanced civilizations. And this is the part most people miss. He's doubling down on this theory with 3I Atlas, despite facing criticism from his peers. But here's where it gets controversial. Recent observations from NASA's legendary Hubble Space Telescope have revealed something that's making even skeptics scratch their heads. The mysterious object appears to be radiating its own luminous glow, creating what scientists call a coma, essentially a bright, hazy envelope surrounding its core. This glowing phenomenon typically occurs when a comet's icy surface begins vaporizing as it approaches our sun. However, there's a peculiar twist that's got researchers puzzled. Unlike typical comets that develop brilliant streaming tails pointing away from the sun, 3I Atlas shows absolutely no evidence of such a tail formation. Instead, all the brightness seems concentrated at its leading edge, almost as if the object is producing illumination from within rather than simply reflecting solar radiation. This anomalous behavior led Loeb and his Harvard colleague Eric Ketto to propose a startling hypothesis during their recent collaborative analysis. After extensive deliberations, they concluded that the most straightforward explanation for the object's unusual steep brightness profile suggests that its central nucleus is actively generating the majority of observed light emissions. This revelation also implies that 3I Atlas might be significantly smaller than initial estimates suggested, potentially bringing its dimensions in line with the two previous interstellar objects we've encountered, the famous Oumuamua and 2I Borisov. Loeb presents two fascinating, yet polarizing possibilities to explain this self-illuminating behavior. The first scenario involves 3I Atlas being an incredibly rare fragment ejected from the core of a nearby stellar explosion, a supernova remnant packed with radioactive materials that continue generating energy long after the initial blast. Think of it as cosmic shrapnel still glowing from an ancient stellar death. The second possibility ventures into science fiction territory. What if this object represents a nuclear-powered spacecraft from an extraterrestrial civilization? In this scenario, the dust particles observed streaming from its forward-facing surface could be accumulated interstellar debris, essentially cosmic dirt that gathered on the vessel's hull during its potentially millennia-long journey through space. Interestingly, Loeb himself acknowledges that the supernova fragment explanation seems highly unlikely. Given current astronomical understanding, while the spacecraft hypothesis requires better evidence to be viable. Yet he refuses to dismiss either possibility entirely. The plot thickens when examining 3I Atlas's trajectory through our solar system. Previous analysis revealed suspiciously precise close approaches to both Earth and Jupiter, flyby patterns that some argue are too convenient to be purely coincidental. Combined with the absence of a visible cometary tail, these characteristics continue undermining the conventional comet classification that most astronomers prefer. But here's the exciting part that could settle this debate once and for all. This autumn, 3I Atlas will pass remarkably close to Mars, close enough in astronomical terms to provide an unprecedented opportunity for detailed observation. Loeb has already reached out to NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter team, suggesting they aim their sophisticated imaging equipment at this rare visitor. The response from the space agency has been surprisingly enthusiastic. This morning, I encouraged the HiRISE team to use their camera during the first week of October 2025 in order to gather new data on 3I Atlas, Loeb reported. They responded favorably. This means we might have definitive answers about the object's true nature within just a few months. This raises profound questions that extend far beyond simple astronomical curiosity. If 3I Atlas does prove to be artificial in origin, what does that mean for humanity's place in the universe? Are we ready to acknowledge that we might not be alone, or will we continue finding conventional explanations for increasingly unconventional phenomena? And here's what makes this controversy so compelling. Both sides of the scientific community are essentially betting their reputations on their interpretations. The mainstream astronomers insist we're simply observing natural cosmic processes we don't fully understand yet. Meanwhile, researchers like Loeb argue that our refusal to consider extraterrestrial explanations might be causing us to miss the most significant discovery in human history. What's your take on this cosmic mystery? Are we witnessing the arrival of humanity's first confirmed alien visitor? Or are we letting our imaginations run wild with what's ultimately just an unusual space rock? The evidence points in intriguing directions, but the final verdict remains tantalizingly out of reach, at least until those October observations provide the clarity we desperately need. The truth is, regardless of which explanation proves correct, 3I Atlas has already succeeded in challenging our assumptions about what's possible in the vast expanse beyond our solar system. And isn't that exactly what genuine scientific discovery should do? Force us to question everything we thought we knew.